Okay, ready? Let's do it. Okay, cue up the music. Welcome to the Byrnecast. We got fun and games. Hey, it's Burnsy. It's Burnsy. Welcome to the Byrnecast. Thanks for pressing play on YouTube. Yeah, we've got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about today. Before I do, let's listen to some testimonials. I just really love the Byrnecast. It's like something I can go to when I'm feeling quite alone, and he just seems like a real sensitive guy that knows about a lot of important issues that are going on in the world and stuff. Hells yeah, boy! I love the Byrnecast. It's sort of like the Bernie Sanders. No, not Bernie. I don't like Bernie Sanders. I like him though. I like that boy on the radio. He got good. He got some good ideas there. And what? Get them britches down, boy. Hells yeah. I'm back. It's all good. Nothing going on there. Okay. Yeah, I love it. Okay, yes, that's great to hear some feedback from the fans and everything. So, yeah, if you want to record a testimonial video and, yeah, just let me know and we'll try and sort that out. So today I'm going to talk about the film Hardware, getting into meditation. I'm going to talk about a book that I've just been reading, politics, economy, sport in the COVID thing. So, yeah, let's get into it. Let's make it a review cast today. Maybe next week will be a interview cast or an interview. We can have a guest on. I'll start with. We've got to be we're getting interrupted by an advertisement. So if you're getting married, or you know someone who is and you need some videography, get in contact with Seedream Films, seedream.com.au. There's a 3-month promotion at the moment we're running, and that'll be 50% off, and that'll go into peak season, so that's a great thing. And we also offer drone videography, which is on our premium packages. So check it out the website and get in contact. All right, cool. Let's get on to film. Yeah. So first off, I don't know if anyone else out there missed this 30 years ago, but have you seen the film Hardware? It's a sci-fi film. It's a post-apocalyptic sci-fi British film, which is quite odd because they've got some of the cast is American, so they've got some American actors in it, including the protagonist. And yeah, my friend Stephen recommended this to me when we were talking about sci-fi films and just about crazy directors. So he mentioned this film because he thought the director was completely off the ball, genius, crazy kind of person, and he just thought this was a masterpiece, something that I definitely needed to check out. So I have checked it out. And it's a really, really dark film. It's back in the days of Terminator 2, so we're talking 30 years ago now, and it's a lot grimier, it's a lot grittier than Terminator 2. It's a very dark film. It's about human population control through the deployment of deadly robots that are designed to kill a human being, ideally through a poison injection that they have on their body. And I think it might borrow a little bit from Terminator in the way that the machines do have the ability to repair themselves. And so it's a lot what's the word? It's a lot lower fi than a lot of the sci-fi films that were around at the time. It's less hi-fi than Aliens, or it's less hi-fi than the Terminator series, and it employs techniques like stop motion animation and things like that. But I didn't mind. I really, really liked it. I thought the design of it was really sophisticated, considering what they were working with. Looks like it was shot in giant factories and stuff, and it's just appropriate for the film. And yeah, so yeah, it's also a horror type of film. It has a horror element, more of a horror film than Terminator 2. Has a little bit of gore in it, and yeah, Interestingly, there's a couple of rock stars in there. Iggy Pop's in there. I didn't realize it was Iggy Pop. I saw his name come up in the credits, and he's in there as the harbinger of doom, the instigator of mayhem. He's the one who comes into a pawn type of shop and tries to pawn this pieces of robot that he's found out there in the desert. And doesn't say anything. He's a really mysterious character. You only really see his eyes in it. He's covered from head to toe in these black cloths. So that's pretty disturbing. I guess the director thought, well, Iggy Pop can somehow tune into this type of energy, this really dark, anti-human type of energy. This thing that he has going on, and also Lemmy Kilmister. I hope that's how you say his surname, from Motorhead. And he's in it as a taxi driver. He plays a taxi driver who, it's quite funny because he says to the guy when he gets in the taxi, "Hey, have you heard this song?" And he just puts on Ace of Spades. So that's a bit of shameless self-promotion there. But I can forgive it. It's Lemmy. Everybody likes Lemmy from Motorhead. So, what else can I say is, effective editing, effective use of lots of close-ups, lots of detail. Also the film itself was apparently based or stolen from a comic book called Shock, Shok. I'm not sure if it's pronounced in a different way. Shock or Shoki or something. That's where the story came from, and they sued the filmmakers, and they got some sort of a script writing credit, I think, on it after it had already come out the first time. So, the director's name's Richard Stanley. So I don't really know Richard Stanley. There's a documentary out there about him where he is directing The Island of Dr. Moreau, this awesome film that stars Marlon Brando. It must be one of Marlon Brando's last films, and he plays Dr. Moreau. It's an island full of these hybrid animal people creatures running around, and Val Kilmer's in there as well. So it's really well worth checking out. But apparently he left the set, or he was fired from the film. Something happened. There was some sort of breakdown in that relationship. So there's a documentary out there which I have to see, which I will then give you my opinion on once I do see it. So I'm going a bit all over the place right now with this, but so the film is kind of like phase one of an AI takeover of humanity. It's sort of the human extension component of it that it goes into. This is the organized collapse and the eradication of everyone on Earth. There is a Hindu guy in the film, like a stoned Hindu guy. Nothing bad happens to him, interestingly enough. People are getting killed around him, and he's just on drugs. He takes some sort of drug. He's tripping while all the drama's going on, and he's just on another planet. He's sort of half there, and he can't help anybody. He sort of does help people in the end, but he's in there. What else can I say? I'm just checking through some notes that I have, some messy notes. Anything else? Anyway, it's an assassin robot. If you like assassin robot films, go and check it out. At the moment, I've been reading one of Philip K. Dick's most famous novels. I think it's considered one of his 3 masterpieces, along with Do Androids... What is it? Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. And the other one is Ubik. And this one is called Flow My Tears, the Policeman Said, which comes from a line in the book. And this is about a parallel present. And the character, after having a medical episode, goes into a parallel present where he doesn't exist. And in that present, It's a police state, a bit more of a police state than the one he's come from. Philip K. Dick actually said in interviews afterwards that he was recalling memories of this present that didn't exist, which is really interesting character, Philip K. Dick. He was interested in the parallel present, in the multiverse and whatnot. So about halfway through that book. I won't give a full review on that yet. I'll talk about that next time once I get through it and make some notes on it and everything. But yeah, sci-fi is one of my favorite genres. The other genre I like a little bit even more than sci-fi is time loop films. I love time loop films. They're fantastic. And if you can think of a time loop film, put it down in the comments. I've probably seen them all though. Yeah, I'm the kind of person that actually goes on to Google and looks through, the top 20 time loop films or whatever, and I just try and find anything I haven't seen that I have missed, and then watch it, give it a chance. If it's really bad, I'll switch it off after 20 minutes. So Hardware was an interesting one with sci-fi because I'd never seen that come up on any list. So sometimes it's good to have friends that can point you in the right direction as far as films are concerned. Yeah. Meditation anyway. I've been trying to get into meditation for a while now, and it hasn't been I've never really got into a pattern with it. I bought a few books by Joe Dispenza, who uses meditation as a form of healing, and supposedly healed his broken back through a meditation practice. And but his meditations from those books, I downloaded a couple of them. They go for over an hour. They're an hour and 10 minutes, which is quite a long meditation to do each day. And it's recommended that you do that for a week or two, and then you move on to another type of meditation, and then another type of meditation. And that's supposed to, I guess, carry you through and into different stages of, different phases of growth as far as meditation is concerned. But I sort of tried it a few times and then kind of forgot about it. And then a few weeks ago, I came across the surfing legend Tom Carroll actually doing meditations on Instagram, which he is still doing. And he was doing them every single morning at 6 a.m. 6 a.m., he'd do like a 5-minute meditation. And you could just, log in, and there would be, a 2-time world champion Tom Carroll sitting in his house with his cat, guiding everybody through a meditation. And I'm not sure how many people were doing it. I can't remember a huge number doing it at the time, but he's continued it, and it's gone from 5 minutes a day and went to 10 minutes, and now it's up to 15 minutes 3 times a week. So if you're interested, Monday, Wednesday or Friday, tuning into that, it's free. And I think it's the reason he's doing it is because eventually he will be doing a meditation retreat, which is meant to be this year, but that'll be next year, which sounds like a lot of fun, going to Bali, going surfing with Tom Carroll and doing meditation and whatnot. So but yeah, so I've been having fun with that. I bumped into Tom Carroll in the health food store the other day, which is really cool. Really, really lovely guy, and just friendly, down to earth, cool. And he was looking at some magnesium and vitamin B. He likes baked vegetables. Doesn't eat much meat, if people are interested. So he told me just eats meat. I think it was just once a month or something. So, but being a vegetarian is probably a really, really good idea, especially with all of the crap meat out there that is full of antibiotics and is fed on genetically modified grains and all that kind of rubbish that you do not need coming into your system. probably best if you hunt for your meat, you need to know where your meat comes from for all of us. So just moving on to sport. So this has been a really weird year for sport, and a lot of things just got shut down. The betting agencies were probably pulling their hair out because all of their sports were just, there's nothing that you could bet on. There's nothing that anybody could go to. The TV networks were playing like reruns of old matches no one wanted to see. It was just really, really strange. The strangest that it's ever been. I don't think it's ever been that strange. And gradually, just over the last month, things have started to come back to life. And in Australia, well, this is from Australia. I don't know what's going on in the UK. I don't know I do know a little bit about what the UK, what's going on. You do have EPL matches. They've come back. The A-League, interestingly, hasn't come back in Australia. But the NRL has come back. The AFL has come back. It's got a few rounds already as I speak. And it's good to see it coming back. We're still waiting on Formula One and surfing. Nothing's showing up as far as that's concerned. The Tour de France has been rescheduled, but nobody knows if that's going ahead. My prediction on all of this was that there pretty much will be no sport. I'm surprised that the NRL and AFL actually came back, and the EPL and the Bundesliga. I never expected any of that to really happen. I thought it was just going to be a wipeout, and that things were just going to be back on September, October, or something like that. But yeah, I don't know what's coming. I don't know what's coming as far as a new wave is concerned. I know that there's still really weird stuff going on. Like one AFL player got COVID, was tested, and they found COVID, and now that whole team will have to be quarantined for 2 weeks or something. So it's really pretty extreme. It's very strange. I don't know if I mentioned surfing. When's surfing coming back on? I haven't heard an update on that. It was supposed to be nothing until the end of May, but we're already nearly into July as I do this podcast, and there's still no word on when that will be coming back. Interestingly, the CEO of the WSL said that it wasn't clear about whether they were postponed or cancelled. So I don't know how you would be able to run them. I don't know how you'd be able to run the Gold Coast and Bells and Margaret River and all that sort of stuff again. But I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be a world champion this year. I hope there's going to be a male and female world champion, but we're just going to wait and see. Maybe they might do what they did back in the 80s and have a season that runs over into the new year. It could be a 2019, 2020 2020-21 world champion, which they could also, they might be able to do that with the NBA as well. I know that with the NBA, they've taken over Disney World. Or I think it's Disney World. I can't remember which part of America it's in, but they've taken that over basically, and they're going to put all the teams up there, and they're going to play out the rest of the season there, which is, which sounds like a good idea to me. I don't know how hard it is to do that. With the UFC, Dana White said that he has taken possession of an island, or he has an island, and then on that island, fights are going to occur. There's going to be at least one promotion there, so that's kind of exciting. That's quite wild. Who would have thought a year ago that would be happening? And excuse me. The Tour de France. Who's going to win the Tour de France? So there's Froome or Bernal, and they're both on the same team, Ineos. And Thomas Geraint is also in the same team, and he won the Tour de France in 2018. So, most people are predicting someone from that team will win. But that'll be interesting to watch. Froome's just come back from a major accident. where he flew off the bike at 60 k's an hour and hit a wall or something like that and broke a whole bunch of bones and nearly killed himself. But he's making a comeback, and he's going for his 5th Tour de France, which is pretty incredible. So it's just going to be interesting. I hope it's on. I hope I'm able to watch it and enjoy that. I love looking at the French countryside. It's so beautiful. So, yeah, we'll see. Economy. What's going on in Australia? We're at 7% unemployment, I think, at the moment. There doesn't seem to be a lockdown here. I don't know what's going on in the UK or in America. I'll have to ask my friends and find out what the situation there is there on the street. And but here in Australia, people are everywhere. People are not locking down. It's a little bit weird going into a restaurant and just saying, can I have dinner here? And they're all asking for bookings at cafes and restaurants, which is a bit strange. And so that can be a bit of a pain in the neck, and you don't always exactly get what you want as far as that's concerned. Okay, let's talk about the election. I just wanted to talk for a little bit about the US election, and just specifically about Trump and Biden. Trump was a major favorite for this election last year and this year. It didn't look like that any Democrat would have any chance against him, and I think Bernie Sanders was up there in the guesstimates for a while as someone who could beat Trump, but he's since fallen by the wayside, and seems to have become a Trump or Biden battle. Hillary Clinton is not really anywhere to be seen. So the odds makers have put Biden quite a bit in front, so they're favouring him. It's still not certain. It's still quite close to a 50-50 battle, but that in itself seems very odd to me, considering how things were just 6 months ago. It didn't look like Trump would have any challenge whatsoever, and anyhow, probably just a good thing to keep an eye on. I'm not completely certain, but still, fairly. I still tend to think that Trump will win the election. Okay, are we recording? Still recording. Awesome. Can see signal coming in. I haven't talked about technology yet. I wanted to talk a little bit about computers, just because they've been on my mind for a while now. I've been looking at PCs or Mac computers, and what I'm actually looking for is a really cool video editing and sound editing computer, so that I can get the fastest performance and at the best time flow. Workflow. I'm looking for a good workflow. So I've been looking at everything from laptops to desktops to the good old Mac iMacs to try to figure out what would be best suited for my needs. I've come to the conclusion I'm just gonna jump right to what I want to get now is an AMD PC. So AMD is a company that makes computer chips. The other major one is Intel. Intel is really the major one. Intel's programs are apparently a lot better for H.264 encoding. So if you're going to work with a lot of that kind of footage, then you'd be better off with an Intel chip. They are more expensive. AMD has always been a budget option, but they've come a long way in the last few years. So they're doing quite well, AMD. I'm interested in trying it. I'm interested in trying the Ryzen 5 3600 chip, which was really well reviewed by a company called Puget Sound. If you can find that article online, it's worth checking out, because you can actually see comparison between that chip and the Intel chips that they've got around at the moment, so you really know where you stand and what kind of performance you can get out of it. From my mind, if I can get at least 80%, 85% of the performance of the best chips around, I'm fairly satisfied. I can live with that. it can get the job done, and that's what the most important thing is for me. So that Ryzen 5 3600 with a GPU, probably an NVIDIA. I think the NVIDIA, I heard it performs really well with that chip for some reason. So as long as it's at least 1000 NVIDIA, you will be able to get GPU acceleration, export acceleration on Adobe Premiere Pro. If you end up buying Adobe Premiere Pro, you can change the settings, within that program to make the exports up to 4 times faster, which is huge. So I don't know if I'm going to go Adobe Premiere. I don't know if I want to get into that whole Creative Suite hassle of paying for a huge annual subscription and things like that. And I want to see what I can get away with DaVinci Resolve, which is is an industry standard color grader, but you can edit on it, and the base version of it is free, and free is fantastic. So the paid version I think is only $300 as well. So it's very enticing, and I'm going to start there and see how it goes. If I have to get Adobe Premiere, then I will. So NVIDIA, I'm looking at a 1650 GPU, which is not too expensive. And the rest of the computer will be nothing that outstanding. I'd get an SSD and a HDD so that I have some extra storage, which is important for me. I would buy an iMac. The 27-inch iMacs are really good value, actually. Except I don't need a 5K monitor. I need a 4K monitor. And so I can put that money into the hard drives, which is where I'm going to put the money. And also another important point, comparing PCs to Mac, if you build your own PC, it's upgradable. If you buy an iMac, it's not upgradable other than the RAM. And that's only on the 27-inch models. So this is kind of the crap part about buying a Mac, is that you can't upgrade it unless you buy the brand new Mac Pro, which is $10,000 for the base model, which is not that great for a base model. It's not a great configuration, but you could do that and then buy all the components yourself, upgrade it yourself, which looks like it would not be too difficult to upgrade. It'd be kind of fun to do that, but you might be getting into a lot of extra expense. That would be an incredibly fast, powerful computer, though, if you got an upgraded model of that. It'd be interesting to compare like a PC that actually had the same specs as the latest Mac, just to see what the price difference would be. A completely maxed out PC versus a completely maxed out Mac Pro that you actually did yourself. I mean, that would be an interesting video. I'm not sure if there's one out there. There probably is online as Tech Tips. They've probably already done that. That would be a great one to watch. So, I won't go through everything that I learned about computers, because it's probably not that useful. Just basically to say that I'm liking the Ryzen 5, man. I'm liking the Ryzen 5, and I'm liking the NVIDIA 1650 or above GPU. So I'm going to go with that. It's not going to help me with all my programs. It's not going to help me with my old Pro Tools that I've got. I might end up having to buy another old maxed out Mac Pro, one of the 2012 models, and get that set up for my old programs as well. So that's an ongoing journey, that one. That's it. I think I'll roll it up. Again, if you are getting married or know someone it is, check out Sea Dream Films. That's my business, and we're running a promotion for the next 3 months. So get in contact. I'll give you a good deal. Okay, take care. Have a great week. Don't work too hard unless you're super passionate about what you're doing, and if you are, then fair enough. Work like a dog. Take care. Bye.